play the guitar with a twisted strap. I don't know if I should use the pick or not. I have a terrible time with picks. I'm just starting out here now. Picks tend to fly out of your hand and fall on the floor, all kinds of weird things.
When in the heat of the moment, I'd stick with what's most comfortable.
Yeah, well, what's most comfortable is just my thumb. Sound good? So, this is my last anniversary as pastor of the church, and I've been thinking, what in the world can I do to be a hindrance after I retire? So, well, I decided I could be an amazing songwriter. Now, I don't have too much trouble with the songwriting part. It's the other part that I'm having trouble with, the amazing part. I've always had a little bit of poet in me, and so that doesn't come too hard. But it's the putting it together with the song and all. So I actually wrote this as a poem several years ago, and it's very deeply spiritual. You'll probably get a lot out of it and go home and cry all night after you hear this. So I don't know how this is going to go, but you're going to have to keep the pace, because I usually start out at about 65 beats per minute, and by the time I'm done, it's 95.
That's very typical.
Yeah, I figured it was. So you're going to keep me on track. Old Ahab was a restless sort, 3 years without a fight, except of course for Jezebel, who screamed at him all night. He decided he could use a break from domestic tranquility, and that his men should join the cause to prove their ability. Jehoshaphat on some strange whim from Judah came to see how things progressed in Israel, his neighboring country. So Ahab said, Jehoshaphat, if you've got time to spare, the folks in Ramoth Gilead would love to have us there. Now Jehoshaphat was never one to back down from a fight, but he tried his best to make sure everything was done just right. So he said, I'd like to go along, but one thing I must know, would it be God's will for me to stay, or would he have me go? So Ahab called his prophets round, 400 men or so, and asked them very simply, should he stay or should he go? He said, of course you know that if you tell me I am wrong, don't be surprised if you become deceased before too long. So all the prophets said, go up, O mighty man so royal. There's no one gonna stop you till you've taken all your spoil. Now don't you doubt a moment that what we all say is true. The Lord has spoken through us, and we owe it all to you. Oh, Ahab, Ahab, why were you so dumb? You thought you had them conquered, but they put you to the run. You may have fought the battle with your arrow, spear, and sword. Maybe you can fight the horsemen, but you cannot fight the Lord. Now Jehoshaphat did not seem too impressed by all this fuss. He said, is there a prophet of the Lord to speak to us? Well, Ahab said, I've got one, but I hate him verily. He never has a decent word to prophesy for me. They went and fetched Micaiah and brought him to appear. The messenger had told him what the king would like to hear. He said, I cannot tell a lie, I know what I shall say. Whatever my Lord speaks to me, I'll tell the king today. They brought him to the throne room, a grin upon his face. Go up, your majesty, he said, you'll put them to the chase. Micaiah said, the king, I do not like your attitude, but tell the truth from heaven, rather bad or rather good. Micaiah stood right up and looked the king right in the eye. Go up to Gilead, he said, and surely you will die. I see your army scattered out upon the hills alone, like sheep without a shepherd and no one to bring them home. Jehoshaphat said, Ahab, see why I hate him so. He never said a decent thing about me that I know. I'll send him to the prison, bread and water it shall be, till I come back in peace to prove him wrong, set him free. Oh, Ahab, Ahab, why were you so dumb? You thought you had them conquered, but they put you to the run. You may have fought the battle with your arrow, spear, and sword. Maybe you can fight the horsemen, but you cannot fight the Lord. Micaiah said, if I were you, I wouldn't press my luck. Just because your wife is ugly, there's no need to run amok. But remember what I told you, and you shall surely see. If thou return in peace, the Lord has spoken, not by me. The king went off to battle, disguised himself he did. The brave man found a place among his troops, and there he hid. But an arrow at a venture found a harness at his joint. One swift prophetic lesson, and the king had got the point. Oh, Ahab, Ahab, why were you so dumb? You thought you had them conquered, but they put you to the run. You may have fought the battle with your arrow, spear, and sword. Maybe you can fight the horsemen, but you cannot fight the Lord. In the battle of this life, we face the horsemen every day. We can take Ahab's advice and fight the battle our own way. Or we can listen to Micaiah, be imprisoned for his word. Maybe you can fight the horsemen, but you cannot fight the Lord. Maybe you can fight the horsemen, but you cannot fight the Lord.